got to get back to the show and we'll fly. Yeah. You don't have to feel like you're on your own. No one should have to dance alone, not tonight. For somebody to make memories in a bank forever in time. There's no reason to be hard to find, 'cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. We make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no shit if you wanna hide away. We just out here trying to play second drills up in the memory bank.
Into Tokyo, and Tokyo needs to. I don't think he knows the dangerous situation he is in, but he perhaps is able to spoil it, to sense it. Oh my god! The Kobe Biao got ammo-wrecked! Uh-oh, I think he is indeed in trouble. Can't move back, because if he moves back, the ice ball will be ready to... Good evening everyone on the EU server. We are with the Summer Season Championship Group 2, and tonight I'm following LOCA versus A1N1 first, and the winner of this match against the winner of another match in Group 2. Let's actually talk about the monetary prize for the professional tournaments. It's the same as the spring season, so that's why the background, the graphic is the same. It's totally the same as the spring season one. So first place we get $3,500 US, second place $2,100 US, third place $700 US, and fourth place $400 US. The format is as follows: it's a single elimination, 4-team single elimination. The first game, it will be a knockout round, so the So for Group 1, it will be first versus 8th and third versus 6th. Group 2 will be second versus 7th and fourth versus 5th. For the second game, it decides the first and second place of each group, and for the next day, it will be the 4-team elimination, where it's going to be held in 3 days actually, not just the second day, but 3 days, 4-team double elimination. First day will be the best of 5, second day best of 7, third day best of 9. It's going to be seeded as first in group versus second in another group. This is going to be the maps you'll be seeing tonight: Rockfield, Fort Despair, Oasis Palms, Dynasty's Pearl, and Alberstadt. And the next round we have Normandy, Canal, Himmelsdorf, Blackgoville, Yukon, and Yukon. Sorry. And this is a timeline. Thanks to Winterfox for this graphic. The Summer Season Championship will be between 28th to the 31st, not 30th, 31st of July. And the Grand Final will be held on 31st, obviously. The schedule: first round will be held in around 13 minutes, second round more than an hour. It's going to be held at 9:30 in Central European Summer Time. A1N1 will be seeing Hellstorm as the captain of the team. We will also have Eon, Naka, Foxstead, Didi Sala Macheo, Cora Papacrimino, Comedy, and RG. Meanwhile, we have LOCA with Sabutastic, Yasiotastic, Utastic, Fantastic, Sabutastic, Fantastic, Unitastic, Sticktastic, also known as Juicy Tender Steak, and Onyatastic and Barontastic. The Sabutastic, the captain of this team, is actually Foxtastic, so otherwise known as Foxy, so or James, basically. So this is going to be an interesting setup, and LOCA definitely will be looking for the champion once again, reigning champions of the spring season, and they're not eliminated, as I'm saying. If you haven't started guessing, start guessing now, because it has opened. The guessing game has opened. Tonight we will give out 10 battle passes. 5 of them will be in the first fixture or first round, and the second, and 5 more battle passes will be given in the second round or the second fixture. So guess the damage done by A1N1 altogether in the third game, and that map is on Fort Despair. Guesses will end after the first match, on all ends. So I would say stop guessing on the stream, and 5 minutes, and you cannot guess after that. There is a 5-minute delay on the stream, so that means 5-minute delay. That means the matches will start in around 11 minutes, but the matches will only be broadcast 5 minutes later. That is to prevent teams from stream sniping and so on. Thomas Peterson has made the following predictions as a supercomputer. Not a lot of close games. In fact, only one, and that is the game we're following tonight. LOCA vs A1N1 is predicted to head into a tiebreaker. Let's see if it's going to be the case. Meanwhile, we also have Endgame 5-2 Kraken Esports, APA 5-2 Jones, and BPS 5-3 Immortals Challengers Tournament. We have TTT 5-2 against ASP, Zenith 5-3 against RNG, Turks 5-1 against DWF, and Sparta winning Pink 5-3. Let's see if Thomas Peterson is going to get a lot of results correctly. Normally, Thomas Peterson should get lots of results right. It happened to Mapbox, 8 out of 12 correct outcomes, 2 of them being like one level away. So, for example, like predicted 5-4, but it ended to the other team. So, 2 of them were quite close. It could have been 10 over 12 if the tiebreaker have gone either way, or went the other way. I mean, that's kind of the pain as a supercomputer in guessing. You know, sometimes everyone is looking at that outcome rather than the closeness of the scoreline. And let's see if it's the case. Basically, Thomas Peterson has no, excuses for this one, only one tiebreaker restart. So if again there are lots of upsets, then we will have to blame Thomas Peterson. That might be some formula change and algorithm changes. If you want to donate to my stream, here are the links, and hopefully show your support to stream and also other people. Here we go. Fujit and Mnet will be co-commentating tonight. They will be commentating the games of Endgame versus Kraken Esports. Kraken Esports previously finished in the I think in the 13th to 14th position, or was it 15th to 16th last season, in spring season. Did not finish in winter season, if I remember correctly. And this season they are in the top 8 with a lot of help from Serenity. Serenity basically participated in the first 2 bronze series and then did not participate because they don't have enough players. But I can guarantee that Serenity will definitely be back for the for the autumn season. And I'll be following LOCA versus A1N1. Robert, his YouTube channel name being Top Blitz on Espanol, will be following Jones versus APA, and that will be commentated in Spanish. Every will be following Immortals versus BPS. Alright, that's good. Not a lot to talk about, and we will be waiting for the room invite to come on, and we'll go in soon. So hopefully vote if you haven't already. Just have to tell everyone that you can start guessing. And room should be soon. Absolutely with me. So that my voice get quite sore. My voice got quite sore after the commentary on the Asia server earlier. It was 2 best of 9 series, and I hope Pokémon will not do this once again, because that's really tiring to my voice. And I also lose some concentration too. So let's hope we will see some good battles. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to the game. My game has frozen. Very nice. Room is up. We'll go in. It's going to be LOCA versus A1N1 on rough field. Let's go. LOCA versus A1N1. We still have around 5 minutes left to go. Which team will win? If you haven't voted already, do vote now. So far I've received 29 votes from my end, so it probably would be different after that. Yes, we have some guesses coming in. Wait. A1N1. Oh, you're 12, how are you doing? It's A1N1. 3rd game. let's look at the lineup now. Rockfield, we are seeing A1N1 going with double T125s by Comedy and Papa Criminal. Some players will be joining the room soon. Triple Crown by Macheo, RG, and Didi Sala. Cora playing the IS4. A1N1 previously had problems with room invites on the last GOAT Series tournament, and yes, so we'll see. We'll see about this one. LOCA, we're going with Sabotastic or Foxy in Vickers Light. Naka is in, that's good. We'll be playing in the IS4, so that means A1N will be showing up with at least 7 players, but some player left again. Okay, so here we go. Hailstorm is in T125. So we're going to announce the lineup once again. That's good, that's good. Here we go. LOCA versus A1N1. LOCA seems to be ready now. They're going with quadruple crowd bargains by Anya, Baron, Sable, and Unitastic. Double M60 by Utastic and Sticktastic. And we will also see Vickers Light played by Foxy or the fake Sable. I'm sorry, James, about that. But A1N1, we're going with Triple Crown by Hailstorm, RG, and Didi Sala. Double T125 by Comedy and Papa Criminal. Cora and the IS4 and Naka and the Vickers Light. On the subs bench, we have no one because on the Asia server, you can't have subs. So, you can't have anyone spectating. So, we'll see how it's going to propagate. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Rockfield is a map you expect a lot of Vickers, at least one Vickers Light on both teams, because you want to get information at the start, knowing which side the teams are going, and that would pretty much depend on how you capture the bases at the start. After that, when you don't have the cap lead, or even if you have a cap lead as well, then the Vickers Light can be very important in getting the information up. And using that information to either defend nicely, creating choke points, or to rotate if you don't have the cap lead. Because if you give up too much of the map on Rockfield, you might get spotted on the rotation, so you have to be really careful about this. Rockfield, it's kind of a defensive map, but it's relatively open, but it's also small. So you will expect a lot of hold down tanks, as you see on both teams. LOCA taking 6 of them, A1N1 taking 5 of them. Okay, Yasuo Tastic is going to be on the subs bench. And there we go. Rockfield first match. LOCA versus A1N1. You haven't guessed the total damage done by A1N1 in the third match. Do it now, because the giveaway, the guess. Oh, you cannot guess anymore after this match. So, do put in your result as soon as possible. Both of the teams wishing good luck to one another, and RG even showing his heart to LOCA. So here we go, LOCA, red team north spawn with A1N1, blue team south spawn. A1N1 dropping a lot of speed boost. On to C with A1N1 looking at Naka here in that Vickers Light. Slow down a little bit. Sabotastic's going to go into this position. Oh, both of the Vickers Light are now spotted. Some tanks are spotted, but it seems LOCA has spotted more tanks, so let's head back up and see what's going to happen. LOCA might have a little bit of trouble. Oh, I don't think they have any trouble at all with getting A. Naker's trying to run away quickly, and he's not going to take any damage, drifting through the terrain. Meanwhile, with A1N1, with a lot of time to C, so potentially they will be able to get C. Great shot into Sabotastic by A1N1, and it seems Hellstorm has taken some hits trying to cap C as well, so LOCA is working their positions as well as A1N1. But LOCA got A first, so even if A1N1 gets C, they don't have the cap lead. So it's all on A1N1 to make that rotation and or kill one tank. Basically, if you can kill one tank, then you will get back the cap lead. But A1N1 has made a bold move. They're looking to push immediately into the Crown Vargas. Are the Crown Vargas of LOCA able to run away quickly enough? And I think A1N1 will use this opportunity to shut down those Crown Vargas, but at the same time, LOCA is punishing A1N1 for a little bit. Hellstorm's going deep into LOCA's forces here. And Crown Vargas are trying to survive, and they've done a great job in doing so. Comedy is now the focus for LOCA. Actually, LOCA is given a lifeline here. Naker at the very far back, I think, supporting Korra here, but it's going to be equal numbers for both sides. But Comedy now dead. LOCA will bite back, but A1N1 with a lot of hit point pool advantage. But the double Crown Vargas of A1N1 have to be really careful. But actually, triple Crown Vargas, the DPM can be a big problem. So Papa Criminal has to stay alive because he's the only tank with a decent amount of DPM here. Sabotastic is going to go down, but it's actually Onyatastic going down first. Papa kills off Sabotastic, and it's now going to be 5 versus 6. Hitpoint still with A1N1, and LOCA struggling to kill off the tanks near their spawn. And Sticktastic is now quite low, down to a one-shot. Baron saying affirmative, and we're seeing Sticktastic also dead. Utastic is going to be looking for Didi Sala, and it's going to be a kill for Didi Sala onto Utastic. Utastic's on a drop reload, but it's going to be RG killing off Utastic. Meanwhile, Korra is holding there really well, 1 versus 2 pretty much, but both Naker and Sabotastic are now both dead. So that means it's going to be 2 versus 4. 2 versus 5 actually. A hit point still with A1N1, but you would never know. LOCA is not totally out of this yet. Korra needs to survive as long as he could, and he's pulling backwards. He's looking to kill off Unitastic, but unable to do so. That was a bounce, I think. And it's now going to be 2 versus 4. 2 one-shots for A1N1. So, it's going to be very crucial. This moment is going to be crucial. Baron Task is now down to a one-shot. And I think one more shell, and Baron Task is killed by Hellstorm. Great job there. Papa Criminal is to stay as long as he could. Can he land that killing shell onto Unitastic? Yes! That means A1N1 will get the first match, and I'm going to close this one. Let's see if it's going to go any better if I close the YouTube page. It's very, very laggy. Let's see if it's going to happen. My stream is struggling a little bit with frames. CPU, I don't know what's going on with CPU. Yeah, we're getting some skip frames here. 1N1 will be winning the first match. Great job here. I'm just trying to get back to the game, but it seems I can't. Looking at the damage here, you're seeing A1N1 6 tanks doing more than 2k and LOCA 3 tanks doing more than 2k. But I'm going to get ready before the timer runs out. Sorry about that. But A1N1, great move there. Pushing immediately deep into LOCA's double Crown Vargans double Crown Vargans hold there. The focus fire wasn't very good at the start for A1N1, but they kind of grew into the game, and LOCA wasn't able to kill off the Crown Vargans quickly. So I think LOCA's have made a respawns, but I think they probably aren't clinical enough. Can't say what's wrong with LOCA in this one. A1, I just have to give my credits to A1N1. That was good reading there. Shutting down those double crumb bargains and without a lot of hesitation is very commendable indeed. And I have to say, stop guessing now. Please don't guess anymore. And let's prepare for the next one. The next match on Rockfield. I'll see if I close YouTube. Let's see if it's going to help. Because it was so super laggy, I don't know. I might go for a restart of my computer later and see if it's going to help anything. Because it's super slow. LOCA red team on the south spawn with A1N1 with blue team on the north spawn. We'll see where they're going to go. LOCA, they do not have the Vickers Light. Meanwhile, A1N1 will still have the Vickers Light and he will go into the middle spot, the O spot to get spots up. Unfortunately, I don't think he's able to spot tanks up. So it's actually going to be a little bit blind, but Unitastic got blind fired, so great job here from A1N1. But this is not going to be that much of a problem because Hitman's still with LOCA, and it seems LOCA would get B. So they will have the cap lead. I don't think anyone's able to reset Sabotastic here. And we're seeing Hellstorm going into A, trying to get A, but his tank might be a little bit tall. Sticktastic, let's follow his perspective, will be there to reset Hellstorm. Hellstorm moves backwards, but Sabotastic seems to overpeak a little bit. His side turret got shot at. Hit points still with LOCA because they dropped some hit points. A1N1 dropped some hit points with Naked, Hellstorm, and Comedy. And A's now getting captured by Hellstorm, so great job to Hellstorm here. And it's going to be one kill away for A1N1 to get back the cap lead. And we are seeing LOCA with Unitastic, and Unitastic will be looking to shut Hellstorm down. But is A1N1 ready for this? This is very similar to what we saw on the HS7 ID, having a tank very aggressive on A, but it seems A1N1 aren't totally equipped with that at the moment. Hellstorm is down already, so that means it's now going to be 7 versus 6. And LOCA seems to waste no time in pushing RG next. RG's dropped the reactive armor, but it seems the Crown Bargains are holding out in the open a little bit. And RG is now down to 900 hit points. And A will be captured by Unitastic, so that means LOCA will get back the cap lead. Naked also took some hits, and it's going to be A getting captured by LOCA. LOCA rush stopped, but they have a lot of hit points, and they have cap points, so it's their turn to defend. And A1N1 is struggling to hold on, and RG could go down any minute if they get rushed next. LOCA, great shot by Sabotastic onto Criminal, I believe. And it's going to be tight. A1N1 is certainly feeling the pressure now. But it seems Comedy and Cora is coming up a little bit, with Unitastic and Unitastic pulling back a bit. A1N1 is trying to hold down, trying to punish LOCA, trying to chip away the hit points of LOCA. Sabotastic might have overpeaked a little, but Cora as well gets permatracked though. And his hit points has decreased by more than 1,000 and loses even more hit points here. Now LOCA is biting back. They're looking for Cora, and I think this is going to be LOCA's game. Cora is now killed by Unitastic, and they are also pushing down the middle as well. RG is going to be going down very soon, but with Comedy down by a fire. LOCA getting 1,000 cap points because they captured A later on, and they still have 7 tanks on the battlefield. So great job to LOCA, and it seems A1N1 same problem with ID. Back on the Asia server, there is a very isolated tank, I think even worse than ID, I have to say. ID have tanks like slightly behind the tank on A, but this time A1N1 simply, they're even further away from that isolated tank, and they lost one tank and they couldn't really do anything after that, and LOCA was simply punishing them, trying to hold them behind the slope, and they got A in the end, and they have 2 caps, meaning LOCA LOCA just need to defend, just need to stay safe. They have time. A1N1 does not. And A1N1 tried to do something from their spawn, but couldn't. But that move didn't materialize. So we are now on to Full Despair. It as it stands 1-1. Yeah, it says around 50% CPU usage, so no idea what's going on. Yeah, that's if I close Firefox, would that help? Let's see if it's going to help. Alright, here we go. Fourth Despair, we're seeing double IS4 by Onya and Yasuo. Double Saber play, double Crown Bargain, double M6O by Sticktastic and Utastic in the mouse. A1N1 will be going for triple IS4 by Hailstorm, Korra and DD Sala, double T135, a single 215B. I think there is a mouse somewhere as well. No, there is no mouse. Double IS4, triple IS4, double T125, a single T215B and Crown Bargain. Yeah, hopefully it will improve the frames. It's still quite on. It's quite low. It's still quite low. Okay, now we're seeing LOCA red team south spawn with A1N1 blue team north spawn. Let's see what they're going to do here. LOCA with no mediums or lights, and so is A1N1. And this is difficult. Let me check if I got the right scoreline. I got the right scoreline. It's typical because Fourth Despair is a relatively small map and is quite flat too, and it's somewhat concealed. Well, not pretty concealed, but you know, when it's pretty flat and you rather have heavies instead, and also it's quite small too, so rotating from one side to the other won't be that much of a problem. B will be captured by Sabotastic here, and Unitask will be landing a helping hand, but they would not have the cap lead because A1N1 got C first. As I always say, it's better to defend B than C, because B you have nowhere to side scrape, but for C you have somewhere to side scrape while trying to get a cap, or try to get a cap stop. It's going to be around disputing here. You can't try to get C cap and try to side scrape there, but B you're basically out in the open when the other team is trying to defend B. So LOCA is the one to make that move, and I believe they have a lot of experience. Oh, but their rotation is getting spotted. Onya and Utah are getting spotted while rotating. Not sure how it happened though, but Naka seems to be doing a great job in this one. So LOCA suddenly stopped in the rotation because they got spotted, but Utah continued to move. The IS-4s are also moving back to their own spawn, but LOCA might be planning a rotation on C, so I think that would give information for A1N1 either to push over to B, be aggressive on AB, or to defend C even more. But like, if I were A1N1, I probably would go rush B, because it's quite hard to defend C, in my opinion. The obstacles would not give good line of fire. So are we seeing A1N1 line up for push? At the same time, they have the cap lead, so they can just defend, but I know that C is going to be very hard to defend, so we'll see what A1N1 is going to do. LOCA probably senses that A1N1 is trying to get aggressive over to AB, so maybe they would go to get C quickly. And they have stacked up 4 tanks there, and in any moment they will start pushing in to C. Sticktastic drop the speed boost, and they're going into C, and that will initiate a response for A1N1 to make a push on the other side already. They're looking for B, and C is going to be captured by LOCA. Meanwhile, A1N1 has not sent any tanks to B yet, so LOCA would get the cap lead back. Meanwhile, A1N1 now they need to do a rotation. Hit points are still with LOCA at the moment, and Comedy has lost some hit points in doing so, but A1N1 immediately went in. They want to kill off Unitastic first, or maybe not. LOCA is looking to pincer A1N1's forces with Comedy, trying to run away on fire and pretty much going to be taken out by fire as well. Will be killed by Sticktastic and A1N1. I'm not sure, they're looking very disjointed at the moment. They need to group up and they need to stay together. Papa Criminal is now dead and it's looking really strong for LOCA at the moment here. Hellstorm might be the next tank down, but Sabotastic gets absolutely focused and Hellstorm is going to go down soon. Sabotastic is going to be probably the next tank. It's going to be Korra first and then Sabotastic, and then we have Hellstorm down to a one shot. It will be killed by Yasiotastic, and we are now seeing 6 versus 3. But it doesn't matter at this point because LOCA got 1,000 cap points because they got B on the way. C, I mean. And that's a very strong performance by LOCA, and A1N1 is struggling. A1N1 is struggling with no tanks doing more than 2,000 damage, and LOCA 3 tanks doing more than 2,000 damage. I have to say they wanted to coordinate a push over to the northwestern corner, but it was a little bit disjointed. It was quite disjointed. Doesn't seem to connect well, and LOCA was able to land their shells quite easily to isolate the tanks of A1N1. First, you have Comedy trying to make that push, but already LOCA has come up from behind, and Comedy gets eviscerated within seconds. And A1N1 at that moment, they obviously are pushing on the other side, but their lineup is simply too spread out, and there's nothing A1N1 can do at that point. If I were A1N1, I probably would have been more decisive with that push over to the northwestern corner. But credits to where credits due, LOCA did absolutely a wonderful job holding the middle side well, and the tanks after capturing C are able to rotate backwards to support their team, and got A1N1 pincered pretty much, and we're now on to the second match on For Despair. Okay, Baron is now on the subs bench. We are now going to be seeing LOCA double Ice for double Crown, double M60 and a mouse, A1N1, double Ice for double Crown, double T110E5, and a 215B. Typical lineups on the sphere for both teams. I'm not seeing any interesting tanks apart from the 215B from A1N1. It can be really good held down, but the turret, but the chassis is very long, and you might have trouble in hiding that. Good gun. I love that gun though. But the armor is also not that strong. So we will be seeing what LOCA is going to do in this one. LOCA, red team north spawn with A1N1 blue team south spawn. This time A1N1 is going to commit their forces over to AB instead of getting C at the start. As for LOCA, they are looking to go for BC instead. So are we going to be seeing A1N1 getting captured, or is it going to be LOCA? Sabotastic in that area in the bushes might be able to get some spots up, but unable to do so. Unitastic is going to go to B. Comedy is now spotted. Oh, but Sabotastic receives a blind fire by Comedy. It's a great job to Comedy here. Naked is now spotted. Another blind fire coming in from Naked, but it didn't hit anything. It only hit the dirt, and you do not want to be scared by that. C is going to be captured by LOCA first, so it's the same thing, but the roles are reversed this time round. B is going to be captured by A1N1, so it's going to be A1N1 that needs to make a move. But are we seeing identical things? Because once again, A1N1 is sending 4 tanks back to their spawns, and they're going to rotate from there. But A1N1 does not have a mouse, so that can be a problem. If LOCA decides to rush middle, not sure if the double crab vargas are able to hold there long enough. So we'll see what LOCA is going to do here. Naked tries to fire a shot, but it didn't hit. So it's now going to be a stalemate situation. But A1N1, Didi Sala going up the platform A1N1 wants to get some information first before they decide to push on to C. But what LOCA did differently than A1N1 this time round is that LOCA sent more tanks over to defend C, and A1N1's forces are now spotted. I don't think they're able to get C here. They might be able to get some cap stops, so that they will get back to hit the cap lead. Hellstorm just needs to be a little bit more aggressive. They still don't have to hit the cap lead at the moment. Already, LOCA is going to rotate through C, but oh dear, I think A1N1 temporarily went into A. And will that give information for LOCA to push on to shut the tanks down of A1N1 near the spawn? We will see very soon, but A1N1 has rotated through the middle, and I think LOCA has to hurry up if they want to kill off the isolated tanks, but A1N1 is not letting it easy for LOCA to make that move. It seems A1N1 is getting some control over the map, but A1N1 is now piling pressure onto the tanks on C. RG takes some hits here. Unitastic and Sabotastic will be working the crossfire really well. I think RG could be taken out soon, and the hit points will be in favor of LOCA by more than 1,000 hit points. Still, it's going to be close. You never know what's going to happen, but RG is now down to 716 hit points, and we are seeing also A1N1 now making a counter push. This can be extremely tight. Yasuo Tastic should be the focus for A1N1, Hailstorm and Papa Kruno now coming in, but it's a 2 versus 3 here, or maybe 4 versus 3. Hailstorm's trying to get C, and that will give A1N1 the cap lead that they really need. If Unitastic also dead, that means it's now going to be 5 versus 7. RG is now very low. Comedy is taken out by Sabotastic, assisted by Sabotastic as well. A1N1 is now wrapping up. On the C side, RG is finally dead, so it's now going to be 5 versus 5 hit points with LOCA at the moment, but the guns will be in favor. No, it's actually still even Stevens. A1N1 4 guns, LOCA also with 4 guns. I think they are looking to defend C, but on the other hand, LOCA can get A without any contest at all. With DD Sara dead, are they looking to wrap up the game with killing all the tanks here? Naked is on fire, a track shot, and it's down to a 1-shot now. Sabotage kills off Naked, and that ram onto Hellstorm. It's going to be a little bit minimal, but LOCA has the cap lead and also the hit point pool lead and also the gun advantage. Korra is now going to be killed by LOCA's forces, and it's going to be the case killed by Sabotage, leaving Hailstorm the last person standing. Well done to LOCA here. A1N1 tried their best, but they probably have lost quite a lot of hit points trying to support their teammates on C. From this area here, we saw RG taking a lot of hits, trying to do that move, make that move. You do not want to take shortcuts in this situation. You would really want to be careful when going out in the open, because LOCA will be there in position to punish you if you do so. LOCA wasn't in the best situation, I have to say. They lost the cap lead. At one point, losing having no caps while A1N1 has 2 caps. But in the end, LOCA came out on top because LOCA didn't do too poorly over the C side, and A1N1, I think, if the tanks near C are close enough, that might have helped. I don't know. But LOCA, we have 4 tanks doing more than 2,000 damage. A1N1, 2 tanks also doing 2,000 damage. Finally, we have Oasis Palms. This is a best of 9 series, so whichever team wins the first 5 matches will win the fixture. A1N1 is going to be under a little bit of trouble. They are taking Triple Crown Bargains, a T185, Vicus Light, and IS4, and E100 by Hailstorm, the captain of the team. LOCA, we have Foxy in the Vicus Light, Triple Crown Bargains by Onya, Yasuo, and Sebu, Unitastic in the Mouse, and Unitastic in the M60, and they are going to be playing from the south side, so it's normal to expect a Gorilla team, and that will be played by Sticktastic. I think Sticktastic is streaming from his perspective as well, so if you want to see how he's going to be playing in that Gorilla 15, I do recommend you to watch his stream at the same time as you do on my end. Hello Nelson, how are you doing? So only 10 seconds left to go. We'll find out what's going to happen now. Let's go. Mr. Jewelable saying campus versus campus. But this is the meta. It's very heavy oriented. I think the new updates will spice things up a little bit. So you won't be able to see teams, you know, just defending their cap lead and just waiting until the right time to until it's the right time to push. LOCA CEST obviously will be taking the corner the corner of the map. Doesn't have good camo rating, but could put a lot of ratios. Oh, so we're also seeing CEST committing his tank over to the middle or just over to this bush here. I don't think he will be able to spot tanks up. But Korra is spotted, Hellstorm is spotted, C is going to be spotted by CEST in the Vickers Light. At the same time, another CEST is in the Crown Wagon, quite defensive over the side. But LOCA got C first, so they have the cap lead, not A1N1. A1N1 doesn't have cap lead. I think some shots have been fired, but it didn't hit anywhere. A1N1 might be trying to get A, but they got spotted, so they are hesitating whether to go for A or not. And they are now looking for A. They want to... Oh, I think Stochastic shots, but it didn't hit anywhere. He's trying to get A. He's trying to adjust his tank so that he could barely get A, which is good because you want to side over this rock and not getting shot at and reset. B at the same time will be captured by Korra. That's a very bold move from A1N1, but will Korra be able to rotate away from B? That will pile pressure for Korra now. But it seems Korra can get B uncontested. But DD also took some hits here. Took another hit by CEST. I think will be lining up his shot to shut down Korra when he pulls back. He's going to use the power up to increase the accuracy. Great shot into Korra right here. And Korra takes even more hits, now down to one shot. And one more shot will kill off Korra, and it's the case. Utastic kills off Korra. And this is why I always say, yes, you can go for B. But most of the time, you're trapped there. You can't pretty much run away from this. And LOCA made sure that tank capturing B would not be able to stay alive when trying to pull back. So well done to LOCA. Hailstorm taking some hits here while trying to side strip, so that's not nice. LOCA is leading by more than 3,000 damage, so this is looking pretty good for LOCA at the moment. And they have the cap lead still despite not having the B cap, and B cap is now under the control of A1N1. So it's now LOCA making the counter rotation, but Stochastic has rotated as well. Great shot into Naked, that's a lot of damage done there. And CEST will be killing off Naked very soon. But I'm very, very sorry about Naked. I think he got pinged. I think he got pinged out. I'm very sorry about A1N1. Really not the moment that A1N1 would like to have connection issues. RG has taken another big hit from Stochastic, and LOCA is trying to finish the game up as soon as possible. RG is now killed, and we are seeing Macheo and Comedy rushing into the LOCA's forces. A1N was definitely falling apart now. They want this match to end as soon as possible, and they want to focus on to the next one. And this is a exceptionally dominant match by LOCA, and they still have a lot of hit points left to spare. DD Salas now killed. Hailstorm's now down to a one shot. Great shot by Hailstorm onto Unitastic. Hailstorm's now killed. LOCA 4-1 to A1N1 now. Match point is with LOCA. Do you expect your opponent in comp? Oh, great rhetoric question here by Night Predator. I agree with you. But I have to say, very sorry, very sorry to Naked. And I mean, A1N1 is in deep trouble in getting knocked out of top 4 now. One more loss, and LOCA will be through to the top 4. LOCA, we have 4 tanks doing more than 3k, Yasuo doing more than 2k too, so 5 tanks doing more than 2k, but A1N1 unfortunately fell apart pretty much after losing to Maker there in a crash. So he's been taken out in favor of Fox Destroyer, I believe. And we're now on to the second match on Oasis Palms. We are now going to be seeing triple Crown Bargains by Yasuo Tastic, Sabu Tastic, and Stick Tastic. Unique Tastic in the IS4, Utastic, T110 Sabu Tastic, Vickers like Onya Tastic, potentially in the M60. A1N1 on the other hand, double crown by Macheo and RG, DD Solo in the 268, Korra, IS4, Comedy T125, Hailstorm, Vickers Light, and Fox Destroyer looking to play in the maps. And no, he's going to play in the Crown Bargain instead. Barrel is now offline, and potentially the last match for this, we're going to be seeing LOCA versus A1N1. LOCA looking really strong now. One more match win, and they are through to the next round. Yes, it's going to be spicy. I agree with you, Min. I can't wait for that. Basically, LOCA versus A1N1. Will A1N1 be able to make a comeback here? It's match point to LOCA, red team North spawn, and A1N1 serves blue team serve spawn. I don't think Snake Toast is played tonight. People sad now. Very sorry about that. Sabotastic is now spotted and spotted up Hailstorm. Hailstorm spotted up Utastic as well. He's trying to run away, lest getting shut down by LOCA. Korra is going to the middle, maybe looking to get spots off of LOCA going into B. Let's see about this one. Korra misses that shell onto Sabotastic. Sabotastic is now spotted trying to run away, and already Hailstorm is running away from LOCA. Oh, but LOCA is going really aggressive, so I'm not sure if that's a great idea. Is it actually A1N1 getting aggressive? Utastic is getting shut down, but A1N1, but so is RG at the same time, but it's actually Utastic getting taken out first. Korra is going to go really aggressive. Great shot into Sabotastic, but it's now going to be 6 versus 7. A1N1 is wasting no time to shut down Yasuo Tastic, so this is looking really good for A1N1 at the moment. They have to hurry up though. Dilly Sala and that is 8 and that CD looking to put some great shells into LOCA, and it's a great shell on your Tastic, and A1N1 needs to go in because I don't think Hailstorm's going to stay as long as he could. Utastic's coming in to support LOCA. Sabotastic's now down. That means it's now going to be 5 versus 7. Hitpoints still with Hitpoints is now neck and neck. Yasuo Tastic is going to receive a big shot from Diddy Sala, and that is going to be enough to kill off Yasuo Tastic, but that was going to be killed by Foxstat instead. On your Tastic, it's going to be one shot, and that means it's now going to be 3 versus 7 with Hailstorm now dead. That makes it 3 versus 6. Oh, this is looking pretty good for A1N1 at the moment. They are surely not giving up after losing to Naked like that last match, with some internet issues. Utastic gets permatracked trying to get B. He repaired his kit, his tracks, but is able to survive though. We are seeing Sticktastic now coming in to shut down Korra. It's not over yet. Utastic is dead. 2 versus 5 at 6. I mean, nothing LOCA can do in this situation. Sabu is now down to 291 hit points. Diddy Sala looking for Sabu. Sticktastic will be killed by RG, Korra, and Comedy. Ooh. Korra is killed by Sticktastic, and Comedy will be putting a grey shell into Sticktastic, not risking the HE shell though, and that makes Sticktastic a one-shot now. Sabotastic is now killed by Foxstat, and Sticktastic being a one-shotter will be killed by Comedy. Well done to A1N1. They came back really well, and I feel really happy for A1N1. They deserved to have at least a match win after being very unfortunate with the internet issues. Here we go, LOCA, we are seeing only one tank doing more than 2k, but A1N1 this time a lot better. 5 tanks doing more than 2k. DD Sala in that 268 landed some big shells only, but I mean, doesn't matter. Almost 2k as well, so it's good. A1N1 might be looking for a comeback here. We don't write A1N1 out of it yet, but still one more match, and LOCA can win it 5-1. But I think A1N1 is feeling the momentum now. NAKA is not going to be switched back, I believe. I think they are not going to risk NAKA again. They don't want to be in the situation whereby someone lost connection. So Fox Destroyer will be summoned and will be playing for A1N1 again. LOCA, on the other hand, we are seeing double bounce by Sabotastic and Unitastic. Unitastic in the T110E5. On your Tastic, IS4, triple Crown Wagons by Yasuotastic, Sabotastic, and Sticktastic. Okay, Fox is going to be playing in the Crown Wagon. Hellstorm E100 Triple Crown by Fox Destroyer, Macheo, and RG. Diddy Sala in the mouse. Korra by IS4. Korra playing the IS4. IS4 is not a player. Korra is not a tag name. Common D is going to be playing in the T110E5. So here we go. Dynasties Pearl. What's going to happen here? We'll find out soon. And Dynasties Pearl, as I always say, a very heavy oriented map, so you're going to be expecting lots of super heavies, basically. Mouses, IS4s, typical for Dynasties Pearl because it's quite close. There are a lot of long and narrow corridors, relatively flat. So expect a lot of super heavies, no mediums or lights, because it's not open at all. And LOCA, red team north spawn with A1N1 blue team south spawn. Okay, let's go. LOCA will be committing their tanks over to the A side. The mouse is going for the middle side. A1N1 will be putting pretty much everyone onto C side. I think some German heavies will be looking for the middle side instead. Hailstorm will be how down around this area. Or is it not? He might have some. No, he's just going to hold down there. RG is now spotted, and LOCA will be getting A first. So hit points are with, cap points are with A1. Cap points are with LOCA. A1N1's now getting C, but LOCA will get A first, and Korra gets reset by the mouse of Unitastic. So it's going to be A1 that needs to make a rotation, not LOCA. I'm not sure about the rotation from the south side over to north side. It could work. It needs some they need to coordinate well. They need to find where LOCA's forces are positioned. C is now getting captured by A1N1, so absolutely one kill would swing it back to their favor. Sticktastic also took some hits there in the Crown Wagon. Korra is going to be in the IS4, looking for the tanks over at A. And we're seeing some more hit points dropped for LOCA here. Hit points are now with A1N1, and LOCA can't afford to drop unnecessary hit points. They have the hit cap lead, so they just have to defend nicely. These two platforms here can be a little bit of a make or break strategy here. You can get a nice overview of B, but you can get yourself out in the open and get shot by A1N1's tanks on the park side, at the park side. So you're seeing A1N1 looking to rotate through their spawn, and they might be looking to push onto LOCA. Hit point still with A1N1 at the moment, so the comeback is on. LOCA will be sweating profusely. A1N1 is slowly building the tempo here. Cap points still with LOCA, and we are approaching the 600 mark. And DD Sala ready to go into B when A1N1 has made a move. But DD Sala just will be going for B at the start. Not sure if that's the best move here. Gets absolutely distracted No, focused by LOCA. LOCA gets a bit distracted as well, but they kind of got their attention back. They're looking to defend B now. DD Solid is in deep trouble. Unitas is looking for DD Solid as well. It's now going to be 737 hit points now with LOCA here, and I think DD Solid is going to go down to Sabotage potentially. Is it going to be the case? It is going to be the case. B is going to be captured by LOCA, I presume. But Hailstorm's also down to a one-shot. It will be killed by Sectastic. LOCA still has 7 tanks at the moment. They are trying to, I mean, A1N1 is trying to push onto Utastic, but they have got a really long way to do so. Foxstat kills off Utastic, with Utastic looking to focus down RG. And Sabotage coming from behind. Oh, I think LOCA might be sensing victory here. They have more than 800 cap points now, and they also have 2 bases. RG is now dead, so A1N1 needs to hurry up with the kills. But it's going to be 6 versus 4, so it's looking more and more unlikely that A1N1 is able to make a comeback here. And A1N1 is also quite spread out with Macheo and also Cora now down to a 2-shot. We're also seeing Sabotage will be killed by Comedy. Foxstat kind of wasted that shell, I believe. Cora is going to be killed by Sabotage, and that leaves only 3 tanks remaining. LOCA almost there. 900. No, their cap point stopped increasing because A1N1 got A, and they got a cap stop on B as well. Comedy is preventing LOCA from getting any cap increase on B, and it seems Foxstat is going to be killed by LOCA's forces soon. And Comedy, I don't think he will be able to get B. With Foxstat now dead, it's now going to be 5 versus 2. Definitely this game will go to LOCA. And with Yasuo Tasik now dead, it's now 4 versus 2. It's still a bit close to call, but Macheo is now dead. Comedy is now the last person standing. I don't think he will last for long. And top 4, one of the top 4 spots will belong to Unitastic. So congratulations to LOCA. And A1N1 will be bowing out tonight, I think, with dignity. Here we go. We're seeing LOCA, 6 tanks doing more than 2k, A1N1, only 2 tanks doing more than 2k. Well done to LOCA here, and A1N1. I think DD Sala just went in a little bit too early and distracted a lot of forces of LOCA to try and focus him down. A1N1 wasn't even close to shut down LOCA then there. And if DD Sala timed it a little bit later, maybe it will be even closer. But you never know. LOCA shut down DD Sala really well and got the focus fire also pretty good. And A1N1 once again quite spread out, couldn't quite reconnect after getting severed by LOCA, and this is a great fixture to be streamed by me. I'm very happy that I'm allocated here to stream this match, and yeah, one of the top 4 will belong to Onya. Let's see other results of other games. Endgame are through. They've beaten Kraken Esports 5-0. That is quite interesting. Oh, Jones beat APA 5-1. So suddenly APA, I don't know what happened to them tonight. They couldn't quite show up. And that's the first result that Thomas Peterson got it wrong. Meanwhile, we have BPS against Immortals. They have beaten Immortals 5-2. So the results are all to be expected, I believe. Let's check the challenges now. The Middle National Championship. TTT won against ASP 5-0. Wow, that's a big upset here. Not upset, that's a big result here for TTT. Meanwhile, Turks 5-1 against DWF. That is the exact result. Exact result as predicted by Thomas Peterson, and they are now going to be facing TTT next. And then we have Sparta 5-1 against Pink, and Zenith still playing against RNG. and they are still playing at the moment. Okay, so we still have a lot of time left. Around 45 minutes of waiting time. So as therefore said, if you haven't hit the like button, do so already. And my game decides to crash. Well done. Let's reload here. Thank you for almost 100 viewers here. Really great to see a lot of people watching tonight. Yeah, I have to wait. Okay, let me load the game once again.
A couple friends on my way up. I took a couple L's, but that's just normal talk. I popped a couple pills, but they don't do much. And now I take Prozac in the morning with some other stuff. But why did I get into this? I feel like this is all a dream. But when I wake up, look around, this isn't even make believe. So I sit in the corner thinking back to all the memories. I grew up with these fake beliefs, by the time I find a remedy. I don't wanna make you feel bad.
Hello, Trahead Pete. How are you doing? I'm going to do some analysis. I will analyze, I think, the third match, isn't it? Yeah. I'll do that first.
Game over.
0. Is good. Not that kind. Invest in stocks with zero commission. eToro.
And yeah, one of the top 4 will belong to Onya. Let's see other results of other games. Endgame are through. They've beaten Tracker Esports 5-0. That was. Seems like. Okay, let's actually take a look at the fourth despair matches because they were very tactical, and I think you can learn something from these matches. So let's actually go in and analyze those matches. Let me get the screen up, and let me check actually where there are results. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? It seems I have lost the audio on the... Oh, not really, because I muted. I've muted the output audio. Let's look at the results of Middle Echelon Championship. Zenith still play against RNG. I think it could go into a tiebreaker at this point. Okay. Okay, now everything is good. We're going to start analyzing now. So I'll analyze the first one and then do something behind the scenes, and I will begin with the second one. So let's go. So is A1N1, and this is difficult. Let me check if I got the right scoreline. I got the right scoreline. It's typical because Fort Despair is a relatively small map and is quite flat too, and it's somewhat concealed. Well, not pretty concealed, but you know, when it's pretty flat and you rather have heavies instead, and also it's quite small too. As I always say, you want cap lead on B instead of C. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, either way, a cap lead is a cap lead, so it's not the end of the world if you get cap lead on C. Obviously, I don't mean that. But for B, as I always say, you can always get crossfire over this area. I'm going to show you actually in the game. While I am in a game, I'm going to show you through the perspective of a mouse from the south side. So let me create a room. And let me play in the mouse. Let me find the mouse. Okay, here we go. The mouse is here. Let's go in from the south side. Let's get this game capture up so we can see from the top left hand corner. There will be another giveaway. Keep an eye on that. Alright, here we go. So if I go to defend B, usually what the usual position that tanks would go is this position, where I'm aiming at the moment. And there is another position there, and maybe somehow down tanks over to the left. Okay. So as you can see, you can't really hide yourself with a tank stationed here. Alright, so definitely the right side of the B circle is out in the open. Side strip a little bit, and then you see the left side of B. It's a bit more borderline. I won't say necessarily that it's I mean, it's like it's like hideable. I'm not sure if it's a word. But another position that you might see teams go, some tanks go, will be here to reset B. This is quite aggressive though. You can try to reset using this area here, but then you get shot free from the right. So, as I say, I don't think you will see tanks around this area, but this area as I'm shooting here. Okay, so other thing you might be expecting is that there are held down tanks looking to reset B here. So let me rotate myself here, and you can see it can't really do it. We can't really get shots into the left side of B while held down here. It's a really good spot to hold down, I have to say. Obviously not in the mouse, but more to do with the 2 and 5, with a Kramwagen or an E5, yeah? And then, other than that, you might see someone going into this position to reset B as well. So if you get Capley on B, you have a lot of positions to work with to reset B from the south side. Yeah, south side you have a lot of areas to work with. From the north side though, as always, you will see tanks in that side in that ruined building, but it's, you know, I can show you as well. It's not as good as the south side. The mouse is a bit too tall for this purpose, so so you probably will get a mouse somewhere around here or even here. As you can see, if I size rape in this bush right here, I might be able to show myself my turret armor to the other team. Yep. So yeah, you can absolutely reset B like that, and even through this area. But if I am not careful enough, then teams can shoot through here, through this kind of opening. Yep. So I mean, if I can kind of turn my camera, you can see if I de-angle my turret, then it's penetrable. Yeah, you can see my turret cheeks pretty well in this area. So if you want to side scrape here, you have to do it really carefully, and preferably not a mouse, because the mouse is a bit too tall for this obstacle here. All right, so let's continue to analyze. We still have more time left, so absolutely no hurry to do that. Now we'll take this one off. Okay, let's continue to analyze now. So rotating from one side to the other won't be that much of a problem. B will be captured by Sabotastic here, and Unitask will be lending a helping hand, but they would not have the cap lead because A1N1 got C first. As I always say, it's better to defend B than C, because B you have nowhere to side scrape, but for C you have somewhere to side scrape while trying to get a cap or try to get a cap stop. It's going to be around this building here. You can't try to get C cap and try side scrape there, but B you're basically out in the open when the other team is trying to defend B. So LOCA is the one to make that move, and I believe they have a lot of experience. Actually I don't have no idea how LOCA's tanks got spotted here. So to play safe, always stick close to the red line. You never know. Kind of a few meters ahead would get you spotted. So sometimes you don't want to do shortcuts like this. That can be that can give a lot of information for the other team, and they could absolutely do something to address that. Well, let's continue to watch. Oh, but their rotation is getting spotted. Onya and Utahs are getting spotted while rotating. Not sure how it happened though, but Naka seems to be doing a great job in this one. So LOCA suddenly stopped in the rotation because they got spotted, but Utahs continued to move. The Ice Balls are also moving back to their own spawn, but LOCA might be planning a rotation on C, so I think that would give information for A1N1 either to push over to B, be aggressive on AB, or to defend C even more. But like, if I were A1N1, I probably would go rush B, because it's quite hard to defend C, in my opinion. The obstacles would not give good light. Which, I mean, if they are able to, you know, be aggressive, then absolutely. you can go for B. But as we saw on the next one, LOCA did really well over to the C side, so you can do both. Wouldn't say which one is better. It also depends on the situation you're in, but because A1N1 knows that LOCA is rotating from behind, if I were A1N1, I probably would do the rotation now. To kind of take into account those tanks of LOCA are still rotating and will have to take some time to rotate backwards to support their teammates. So I would do it now pretty much, because if you leave it way too late, then the tanks over on C will be able to get quickly to support their teammates, and you probably pretty much wasted an opportunity there, and it's going to be very close. With the brawls, it all depends on whether you can put all shells in, especially when you are not as good as the other team in terms of personal skills. Then sometimes you have to grasp this kind of opportunity when you have a numerical advantage. So let's continue to watch. Line of fire. So are we seeing A1N1 line up for push? At the same time, they have the cavalry, so they can just defend. But I know that C is going to be very hard to defend. So we'll see what A1N1 is going to do. LOCA probably senses that A1N1 is trying to get aggressive over to AB, so maybe they would go to get C quickly, and they have stacked up. Yeah, and it could be a little, I don't know. It does feel a bit too late. It does feel a bit too late, but let's continue to watch. 4 tanks there, and in any moment they will start pushing in to see Siktastic drop the speed boost. And they're going in to C, and that will initiate a response. Do also note that LOCA didn't send like 4 tanks over to C. They branch out a little bit, okay? As you can see, they have Utastic there, on your task there. What they're going to do is they're going to shut the tanks down while trying to cross. As you will see over to the south, the bottom left hand corner, trying to cross there, and but already A1N1's line is pretty far forward, so they have to speed up and kill the tanks. Kramwagens are very deep in the battlefield, so they will buy a lot of time, and A1N1 has to go a long way to shut the Kramwagens down. But if they are decisive enough, Kramwagens will not have enough DPM to deal with A1N1, and they don't have the reactive armor either, and also the armor as well. Like, it's not as good as a mouse. So, but at the same time, LOCA has to be quick, getting C and then pincering A1N1's forces. So let's see what's going to happen. For A1N1 to make a push on the other side already, they are looking for B, and C is going to be captured by LOCA. Meanwhile, A1N1 has not sent any tanks to B yet, so LOCA would get the cap lead back. Meanwhile, A1N1 now they need to do a rotation. Hit points are still with LOCA at the moment, and Comedy has lost some hit points in doing so. And you can see A1N1 is trying to push, but they're very distracted. Papa is very far forward. Hailstorm, Comedy even more backwards. I mean, if he continues to move, then LOCA is just able to shut Comedy down quite easily. So I think A1N1 needs to hurry up onto the other side. Like this one, they have to be really quick. And it doesn't bode well for A1N1. They're very spread out, and Papa just, Criminal just very far forward. I'm just a bit worried about Criminal at this situation. That's going to watch. But A1N1 immediately went in. They want to kill off Unitastic first, or maybe not. LOCA is looking to pincer A1N1's forces with Comedy trying to run away on fire. As you can see already, LOCA is behind Comedy, and they're going to take out Comedy very quickly. So let's see what happens next. And pretty much going to be taken out by fire as well. Will be killed by Sticktastic, and as you can see, A1N1 is still quite spread out, and obviously Papa Criminal is going to be the next tank down. And it's now going to be 6-7 versus 5 at this point, and these tanks aren't still close to the Kramwagens yet. Rage drop to the Kramwagens of LOCA to regroup with their teammates and tries to bunch up together over this area, defend with B and C, and that will give them a lot of advantage. They have 2 caps, so they just have to stay safe, conserve hit points, and they will win this one. And A1N1 I'm not sure. They're looking very disjointed at the moment. They need to group up and they need to stay together. Papa Criminal is now dead, and it's looking really strong for LOCA at the moment here. Hellstorm might be the next tank down, but Sabotage gets absolutely focused, and Hellstorm is going to go down soon. Sabotage is going to be probably the next tank. It's going to be Cora first, and then Sabotage, and then you can see when LOCA grouped up, A1N was simply all over the place. Hellstorm is a one-shot, so they just only need to send one tank to kill Hellstorm out, and they can send a lot of tanks to deal with RG and DD Sala, and I mean Maker, they can deal with it last. Even though they can't kill the tanks, killing one tank out will be enough to get them the win through caps. So that's a great win by LOCA. A1N1 I think got a little bit disjointed, and I'm not sure if it hesitation, but it seems to be quite disconnected with their formation, with their lineup. So that is it, the first match of the spare. Okay, let's see the result of Zenith versus RNG. They're still playing, it seems. It's going to be RNG beating Zenith 5-4. So already two wrong outcome predictions. So it was so close for Zenith in the end, but they couldn't, they couldn't, you know, get through the last hurdle and lost to RNG on Fort Despair in the tiebreaker. So went on to both. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go back and pick a medium tank, and I'm going to say stop guessing now. If you haven't already guessed, total damage done by LOCA in the third match. Let's continue to analyze now. The second match on Despair. Yes, you can get yes. And next poll, I think it's going to be LOCA versus BPS, I think. Good gun. I love that gun though. But the armor is also not that strong. So we see what LOCA. Okay, so what you'll be seeing this time is that LOCA doing something similar to A1N1 the previous game, and A1N1 doing something similar to LOCA the previous game as well. But as you know, you might have known it already. LOCA actually won this game. So what did LOCA did what did LOCA do better than A1N1 here? Let's analyze this one. LOCA is going to do in this one. LOCA, red team, north spawn with A1N1 blue team. Let's actually go back to where it was supposed to be. And let's see if it's showing anything, if it's black screen, or if it's not black screen. It's not black screen, so it's good. Let's go. South spawn. This time, A1N1 is going to commit their forces over to AB instead of getting C at the start. As for LOCA, they are looking to go for BC instead. So, are we going to be seeing A1N1 getting cap lead, or is it going to be LOCA? Sabotastic in that area in the bushes might be able to get some spots up, but unable to do so. Unitastic is going to go to B. Comedy is now spotted. Oh, but Sabotastic receives a blind fire by Comedy. It's a great job to Comedy here. Naked is now spotted. Another blind fire coming in from Naked, but it didn't hit anything. It only hit the dirt. And you do not want to be scared by that. C is going to be captured by LOCA first. So it's the same thing, but the rows are reversed this time round. B is going to be captured by A1N1, so it's going to be A1N1 that needs to make a move. But are we seeing identical things? Because once again, A1N1 is sending 4 tanks back to their spawns, which is what LOCA did last time. So, but they didn't get spotted. So this time, I'm not sure if I don't think they stick closer to the red line. So I think last time when A1N1 spotted LOCA's rotation, I think that was a little bit weird. But let's continue to watch. They're going to rotate from there. But A1N1 does not have a mouse, so that can be a problem. If LOCA decides to rush middle, not sure if the double crab vargas are able to hold there long enough. So we'll see what LOCA is going to do here. Naked tries to fire a shot, but it didn't hit. So it's now going to be a stalemate situation. But A1N1, DD Sala going up the platform. A1N1 wants to get some information first before they decide to push on to C. But what LOCA did differently than A1N1 this time round is that LOCA sent more tanks over to defend C, and A1N1's forces are now spotted. I don't think they're able to get C here. They might be able to get some cap stops, so that they will get back to hit the cap lead. Hellstorm just needs to be a little bit more aggressive. They still don't have to hit the cap lead at the moment. They're already. Oh, LOCA. This is an interesting move. What LOCA did differently this time, they are trying to push C instead of A. Is that a better idea? I think potentially so. But at the same time, you are seeing A1N1 quite spread once again. So because A is going to be captured momentarily, that's going to send some information for LOCA to either like push on and kill the tanks as soon as possible. We'll see how LOCA is going to position in this situation. LOCA is going to rotate through C, but oh dear, I think A1N1 temporarily went to A. And will that give information for LOCA to push on to shut the tanks down of A1N1 near the spawn? We will see very soon, but A1N1 has rotated through the middle, and I think LOCA has to hurry up if they want to kill off the isolated tanks, which they can't because they're basically 5 tanks looking at you, and you can send like all 7 tanks there, but this is going to be a big gamble. So like, you can see why LOCA didn't commit to that. But A1N1 is not letting it easy for LOCA to make that move. It seems A1N1 is getting some control over the map, but A1N1 is now piling pressure onto the tanks on C. RG takes some hits here. Unitastic and Sabotage. Great job to LOCA. I think RG is in a position because you can see LOCA can crossfire from here and also from here, and that is some good discovery from LOCA here. But Unitastic also took a lot of hits, so not sure what happened there. But great job to LOCA for focusing down RG there. That tank was pretty much out of position, I have to say. Task working the crossfire really well. I think RG could be taken out soon, and the hit points will be in favor of LOCA by more than 1,000 hit points. Still, it's going to be close. You never know what's going to happen. But RG is now down to 716 hit points, and we are seeing also A1N1 now making a counter. Oh, interesting goal. I think buying on this tank trying to deal with RG, but 3 versus 4 potentially, and they have to be careful because it's also not quite together, but we'll see what's going to happen. Push. This can be extremely tight. Yasuo Tastic should have been the focus for A1N1, Hailstorm and Papa Kruno now coming in, but it's a 2 versus 3 here, or maybe 4 versus 3. Hailstorm's trying to get C, and that will give A1N1 the cap lead that they really need. If Unique Tastic also dead, that means it's now going to be 5 versus 7. RG is now very, very low. Comedy is taken out by Sebu Tastic, assisted. And now you can see all tanks going on your Tastic. LOCA is really struggling now, and A1N1 has 2 caps, and you will think that A1N1 should have this in the bag. Look what's going to happen next. By Sebu Tastic as well, A1N1 is now wrapping up. But at the same time, you're seeing from the minimap here, there are tanks going for B. They picked up tanks on B pretty well, so that is going to be important for LOCA in the late game stages. On the C side, RG is finally dead, so it's now going to be 5 versus 5 hit points with LOCA at the moment, but the guns will be in favor. No, it's actually still even Stevens. A1N1 4 guns, LOCA also with 4 guns. I think they are looking to defend C, but on the other hand, LOCA can get A without any contest at all. With DD Sala dead, are they looking to wrap up the game with killing all the tanks here? Naked is on fire, a track shot, and it's down to a 1 shot now. Sabotage a kill. Okay, so I think what spiraled down for A1N1 here is that they lost that Crown Varg, they lost DD Sala on the 215B. They weren't able to get in cover, and these 2 kills are very important and gave LOCA the gun advantage, and they are able to reclaim C. So that A1N1's temporary capture of 2 bases won't matter too much for LOCA. So great job to LOCA here, and sometimes these kind of small findings would be enough to change the entire course of the game, and A1N1 would be kind of will be regretting not to march on from that great push down on C. Although I do think that the push should be slightly more, coordinated. Like the 4 tanks aren't quite rushing together, but at least they killed tanks and they didn't lose too many hit points, so that didn't matter too much. But they lost DD Sala and the other Crown Varg, and that really hurt them. Kills off Naka, and that ram onto Hailstorm. It's going to be a little bit minimal, but LOCA has the cap lead and also the hit point pool lead and also the gun advantage. Korra is now going to be killed by LOCA's forces, and it's going to be the case killed by Sabotage, leaving Hailstorm the last person standing. Well done to. So you can see, I think what LOCA did better. I think they figure out the rotation better and kind of more together. Well, I'm not sure if it's more together at least. Like not like A1N1 where they're isolated tanks left, right, and center. Like they are quite far apart from one another. LOCA is more congested, more compact. So that really helped LOCA's chances here to win this one and make them really close. A1N1 by no means doing terribly. RG is in a very interesting position, so maybe you might want to go for another position next time. But the push on C is decent. I'm not sure what happened over to B, so I assumed there is something bad going on there. But anyway, great win for LOCA. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Peter. We are here now.
So hanging after we know each other for 4 years.
No, I was analyzing matches. Some interesting matches to analyze.
I told you 10 to 15 minutes, and you called me 8 minutes before.
Well, I mean it's close anyway.
How much did you have to analyze though? I mean, was a 5-0.
No, it was
Wait,
a
no,
5,
that's wrong group. Wrong group. Sorry.
5-2. Some interesting. I think there's some tactical stuff on Fort Despair that I think it's worth talking through, and that's why.
That's fine. But yeah, how did you feel with the first game of the championship?
LOCA was quite good tonight, and they were pretty dominant. A1N1 was pretty much packed back, and they even had a problem with one of the players having connection issues, which is very, very sad, and they were forced to play with one. I don't think Fox destroys one of their regular players. Maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't followed a lot of games of A1N1, but they actually won one match after that player got into some connection issues. So
nice.
that was a great comeback, but still they were only able to win those two matches. But those two matches were really good wins by A1N1.
It's nice to hear. I had some pretty interesting ones as well between BPS and Imor. The starting one on Rockfield looked pretty interesting because in either match the teams won, because they both won one game there. They looked pretty dominant. BPS maybe a little bit more than Imor, because it was at least hit points and tank wise closer. But both teams performed pretty well with the proper focus fire, target parity and everything. But then went downhill on Fort Despair for Imor, because they lost both games there. And being down a full map is nothing you really want, right?
No, don't think.
Even in a best of 9, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
I think that continued more or less into the next game that was on Oasis. Meaning the score was then 4-1. So back against the wall. And then Imor actually made an amazing play. I don't know if they actually read it properly, but BPS just got absolutely jumped. That was total annihilation, and it looked pretty good for Imor at that point, because they got the ball rolling for themselves again. 4-2 potential comeback. Sadly, it was a little bit too late though. That chance for a comeback, and lost on dynasties. But I think both teams played it pretty well, regardless. BPS though very consistent, didn't do a lot of mistakes other than that one on Oasis that I was talking about.
Right.
Because they had 4 heavies stare down on a one-shot light. And then all of a sudden, Immo was on their side with like 3 or 4 heavy tanks. And they had to fall down into the riverbed. And if you've played Oasis Palms before, that's not where you want to be. At all. So, I think that's the only major mistake that BPS made. Otherwise, very consistent. Like they always played, at least in the last season. Looking forward to it, and especially since there's not necessarily any stakes on this game, because both teams will play tomorrow anyway. Looking forward to it. You might see some teams testing out strats whilst they still have the chance. But what do you think will happen between LOCA and BPS?
What will I think will happen between LOCA and BPS? I think it will be really close. I can't say what's going to happen. It's going to be a toss-up. Both of them were pretty good, especially BPS towards the end of the quarterfinals. They really stepped up their game. LOCA had a great performance tonight so far. So is BPS. So I would say we are up for some exciting matches, but this is not going to matter as much as the games tomorrow, because this is going to decide the seeding pretty much, and not really any placings.
If I'm correct, this is winner of Group 1 versus loser of Group 2, right?
Yes, and winner of Group 2 versus loser of Group 1.
Yeah, that should be self-explanatory then.
Yep.
Do you want to maybe introduce the maps that we are going to be seeing?
Okay, we will be seeing this would be Desert Sands, Wintermine, Northcote, Alpenstadt, Vineyards, and Fort Despair.
Yep, we have seen, even though it's tiebreaker, Fort Despair already, so we have... Wait. What? No. Those are not the right maps, Jack. It's
What?
Normandy, Canal, Himmelsdorf, Black Gold, and Yukon.
Oh, interesting. I must have saved the raw maps it happens. Because last time I don't know why I thought about
Yeah, but none of these maps we've seen today, so we'll see some new strats. Maybe the team's getting a bit experimental, because, you know, they still have time for that.
Yeah, let's change it on this stream.
Normandy, it's interesting though, we got 3 full cap maps back to back with Normandy Canal and Himmelsdorf. You don't see that often, because, you know, the large amount of the map pool is free cap based in Supremacy. So having 3 of the, I think 5 full cap maps in a row is insane. And having the 4th and tiebreaker makes it even more interesting. So we're gonna see a heavy amount of focus on cap points in this matchup, I think.
Probably. Normandy has been the map where a lot of teams will hold the Canal as well. I think the games will last for really long. Maybe not quite so for Himmelsdorf, but Black Oak is also a map which the games can go on for a really, really long time, because I think all the maps here are pretty much holding maps. So,
whilst we're talking about battle duration right now, and we don't have a lot of time left, what do you think do you think the Yo has any influence on the battle duration thus far? Do you think it has fastened up? Do you think it was slower? Or did it get slower? Or is it still about the same? Because we see a lot of them now, right?
Yeah, we do see a lot of them, but I don't think there is any notable changes with the pace of the game. I think the reason is that being M60 being quite similar to the Crown Bargain in a lot of ways. And I think M60 is slightly more quicker than the Crown Bargain, so that could explain, or that could mean that it's going to get a little bit faster, but I don't know. But it doesn't feel any different for me, and the M60 is definitely another good clipper and works really well with the Crown Bargain. And this is why you're seeing LOCA taking 7 clippers and BPS taking 5 of them.
Yeah, also interesting, I think in every match in IS4 today, and BPS is going to continue that, because it was IMO. I think nearly every game sticking to that OG tradition of IS4.
Yeah.
Do you think it completely lost its place, or is it still viable?
IS4, we don't see that often on Normandy because it's such an open map.
In general.
In general. I think we are seeing IS4 now being relegated to heavy oriented maps. So I do see now IS4 is now not the tank that is good for every single map.
And yeah, with that, thank you for the talk. Enjoy your commentary.
And you as well.
And your viewers, have a good time. Bye, Jack.
Bye. Okay, so now we're seeing, as I said, 7 clipper tanks for LOCA, and it's going to be quadruple crown, triple M60 for LOCA, triple crown, double M60, Vickers Light and IS4 for BPS. So let's get into the match soon. And I'm still loading into the match. Come on, please. There we go. Let's head up high now. Peng is not really doing any favors here. We're seeing a little bit of teleported tanks, but let me double check. It's right. The order's right, the clans are right. LOCA will be held down over to this middle area near B, and the plane finally crashed. Radicoso received some hits at the start, and A will be captured by BPS, but equally BPS can't really capture D, but LOCA is not very aggressive at the moment, so absolutely BPS can go for D, and that would elicit a response for LOCA to rotate on one side. With A getting captured by Romka, it's on LOCA. Not on LOCA, it's on BPS to make a move still, because they still don't have the hit point, cap point advantage. They also don't have the hit point pool advantage, so they have the triple away hit points of LOCA nicely. And we are seeing Unitastic taking some hits. Admin Josh taking a couple of hits as well. Hit points still with LOCA, but it's kind of close at the moment of speaking. BPS might be lining up for a push over to the Crown Vargans, but if they want to do it, they have to do it now because LOCA is now trying to regroup and support the Crown Vargans, and BPS is doing this now. We will see if it's going to work, but Sabotage is getting a lot of attention from BPS, and it's now down to 740 hit points. Unitastic will be getting the attention next, but it seems LOCA are making a counter push over to Radicosa with Sabotage now dead, and Radicosa will be the next tank down very soon, down to 332 hit points. Whoopsie will be landing some good shells onto Yasuo Tastic. Radicosa is now finally dead. Now we are seeing it's going to be 6 versus 6. Unitastic down to 214 hit points and killed as well. With Object 3 also dead, we are seeing it's going to be 5 versus 5. Sticktastic down to a one-shot, pretty much. Definitely a one-shot now. And BPS is looking at the moment fine, but it's very close in terms of hit points. LOCA is more together, but BPS seems to be having better positions, having the high ground and also the crossfire as well. Sticktastic is now finally dead. BPS is leading by almost more than 2,000 hit points, and it's going to be 4 versus 4. Can LOCA do something out of this? BPS has the high ground advantage and has a lot of hit points, but LOCA is getting A. So BPS needs to approach this slowly, but I'm sure they can do it. Onyastic receives a miss. It's a bounce from Playmaker. But we're seeing General and Romka looking to dive downwards. General, great shot into Sabotastic, one more shell. But it's a bounce onto Sabotastic. Romka might be looking to put a great shell into the tanks of LOCA here. Great shot into Utastic on fire. Playmaker is almost read on the great first shell into Utastic, second shell into Utastic, and that brings it to almost 4 one-shots for LOCA. And BPS is looking very strong. Judge can pretty much pick up the pieces for BPS, and Utastic down to a one-shot killed by Romka. Onyastic and Sabotastic also very low. Onyastic killed by General with Yasuo down to one shot. Romka kills off Sabotastic, and we are now seeing Yasuo the last person standing. Great job to BPS. I think that push was a really good spotting from BPS, and they realized that LOCA is pretty much out of the fight at the moment. So they made use of this opportunity to shut those double Crown Vargans down of LOCA quickly, and that gave BPS a 2-gun advantage quite quickly too. At the same time, you have LOCA taking 7 Clippers, all 7 of them with pretty low DPM. So when BPS is taking a Vicus Light and a Vicus Light, I don't know, because BPS DPM is also not really that good too. So not to say much about the DPM, and but it's actually a pretty decent call by BPS, really finding the weakness in LOCA's setup, and we are now seeing BPS leading 1-0. And stop guessing now. We will see which team you have voted for. Okay, now we're going to be seeing LOCA with quadruple Crown Vargans, double M60 and a T110E5 with BPS, triple Crown Vargans, double M60, a Vicus Light and IS4. Let me just end the poll now. Okay, it seems you guys are voting for LOCA to win this one. Let's see if it's going to be correct or not. We are now on to the second match on Normandy. LOCA still with a lot of Crown Vargans, but they have to make sure they don't isolate themselves like last time. But it reminds me of GB in a lot of ways there. but GB has only one tank. But LOCA that time they have 2 Crown Bargains, but still unable to survive for very long. Hello to Adam, how are you doing? We're seeing LOCA red team north spawn, BPS blue team south spawn. And you see the plane crashing into the crater. And Jaws already spotted taking ahead as well. Spotted up 2 tanks only though. So I'm not sure if this is going to be worth it, but you see all the time Vic is like there to get the spots up, so it's typical. It's not like you should not go there. You should definitely go there in the biggest light, but taking a hit is definitely not part of the plan. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much because BPS, it's all about, you know, focusing down the isolated tanks, and absolutely if they could chip away hit points of LOCA nicely, which is going to be a little bit difficult because LOCA has no mediums or lights. They will have a lot of hit points to spare. Let me just, you know, update the scoreboard as well. A is going to be captured by Ronka here. Yasuotastic in a decent position. I think we'll be able to reset Ronka. First shell, able to reset Ronka, but didn't hit anything, didn't penetrate. The second shell also didn't penetrate, but it's Sabotastic putting a good shell to Ronka instead. I think Ronka receives already 3 bounces, so that's pretty impressive. And is trying his hand once again on capturing A, but LOCA will be there to make sure BPS would not be able to get A. So well done to LOCA on this one, and they are still leading by almost 2,000 hit points, so this is looking pretty good for LOCA at the moment. They have the cap lead. BPS no, with none of the caps. They can try cap C, but I'm not sure if LOCA will be there to reset C as well. So what we're seeing for BPS at the moment, it seems we're seeing BPS stacked up over on A, but the Crown Vargans are pulling backwards, are trying to go away from here, but the LOCA's forces are going to hold down this crater, and we're seeing BPS, the M60Os are there to stop. Oh, trying to defend C, but LOCA is now making a big push over to the M60Os. The M60Os are trying to run away from this. They're trying to catch C, but is it not the case? BPS trying to run away with the M60O. Can they run away successfully? And what would they do on the other side as well? We'll be seeing lots of action happening around here. M60O can't run because if they run, if they continue to run, they will go out of cover. And great shots into Unitastic, but unfortunately, M60Os are trapped here and they would not last for long. So BPS will be looking to do something over to the other side, but not doing so. So LOCA has quite a lot of advantage at the moment here. General is now dead, and Unitastic is now going out in the open looking for FB Josh next, and we are seeing Playmaker now looking for Unitastic. And is he able to kill off Unitastic here? It's able to kill off Unitastic. That's an important kill right here. But it's going to go down to Sabotastic, and it's now going to be 6 versus 5. We're seeing Ronka now going to be the next tank down for BPS, with Radakoso killed by Sabotastic. Ronka is killed by Unitastic. It's going to be 6 versus 3, and we are now seeing Whoopsie hanging on at that Kravagen, and Object 3 now down to a one-shot. On an ammo rack as well, so Sabotastic is going to land that last shell to Object 3, and it's going to be a kill for Sabotastic. And finally, we're seeing BPS Whoopsies getting surrounded by LOCA's tanks, and Epic Josh getting taken out as well. Well done to LOCA, great push over to the to the south spawn. And I think this time, BPS tried to get A, but lost quite a lot of hit points in doing so. The M60Os, not sure if that's the best idea to have 2 tanks there to defend, but you never know. Sometimes you have to spread out a little bit in order to get information from everywhere. But LOCA made a good move. I have to say, LOCA did a good job in realizing that the M60Os are the targets they should go for. They committed to that, and they killed those tanks out. Meanwhile, you're seeing A not getting pushed by BPS. I'm not sure if they don't have enough tanks, because there are like 4 tanks going for 2 M60Os only, and BPS has more tanks on the other side probably. So I think there is some indecision there for BPS. Probably should have rushed A because LOCA is rushing on those onto those M60Os, and There we go. We're now onto Canal. This is going to be another. I mean, this is going to be a map that's going to last for quite some time, because usually what happens here is that both teams will be getting cap lead on either south or north side. We've seen more and more. C cap is really hard to get now. You have the left side of circle and the right side of the circle getting shut down from different positions from the north side. So what we're starting to see from the south side is that teams probably would outright ignore C if the other team is able to reset C quickly, and they would begin to plan for rotation. But so far we haven't seen a lot of successful rotations from the south side to the north side, but more from the north side to the south side. So we'll see about this one. LOCA would want to get a cap on the south side and not a cap disadvantage. Okay, let's see about this one. LOCA taking a Leopard 1. Which is going to get some spots up, I believe. And let's head up high now. LOCA red team south spawn, BPS blue team north spawn. LOCA actually will be committing their forces over to A and B instead of C and D. BPS doing the other thing, so both teams are doing counter cap strats. So what they are doing basically is just preventing our team from getting hold of D and C, and for LOCA preventing BPS from getting hold of A and B. But BPS will be looking to get a cap lead on D, and are they able to get C? Don't think LOCA is able to get B because you have Playmaker, General there. How down with M6Os might be able to get spots up on B. And A is going to be captured by LOCA. So BPS will have a cap lead on D, but I don't think either team is able to get C from what I'm seeing here. You need Tarsics there to reset C. BPS you have Graticoso and General and even Whoopsie trying to reset whoever's trying to go into B, and they will get punished hard for doing so. So it's going to get really dull. Both teams have 3 cap points to increase, so it's likely that you might see all 7 minutes being used here, unless LOCA makes a move, because they don't have the cap points. They want to get back the cap lead. And here we are. We're seeing BPS double Vickers Light. We do see BPS taking double Vickers Light from time to time. Problem is, doesn't have a lot of hit points. But at the same time, LOCA is also taking double Vickers Light. It's kind of typical of Canal, I have to say. Romka trying to climb up on top, it seems he's unsuccessful. Try once again. You should be able to do it. Because if IS4 can do it, why not a Vickers Light? Romka, I think he might do it once again. He should be able to succeed. Oh, but Whoopsie getting spotted. But also spotted Yasuo Tastic here. Several Tastic also spotted, so BPS is quite spread out. They have guns in everywhere, but if LOCA decides to push onto one side, I think BPS might in some sort of trouble. Not sure if LOCA realizes this because they haven't spotted a lot of tanks of BPS at the moment, and they are tagging up Sector 6 and Sector 7 as well. LOCA might be lining up for a push over to their spawn. The Vickers Light will be there to spot up the tanks and run away quickly. And that would mean LOCA will have to go a very long way. And the Crown Vargans and General Radicosa will go straight into B. So I think both teams have to be ready on both the southwestern, both C and B side, I have to say. Unitastic is supposed to get shot by a little bit. And it's going to be really close. Oh, LOCA, I think, looking for that push now. It's going to be led by Sticktastic. And Vickers Light should be able to spot them very soon. Whoopsie spotted them. Except Yasuo's Toxic's all supported now. Oh, yeah, Whoopsie has to run away now. He's trying to use the train carriages as cover. And you can see him trying to dodge shots. And I think he might be trapped though. I don't know. He will stay there to get more spots up. But it seems now BPS have made a move to go for B. But they are also still defending Whoopsie's lane, preventing LOCA from advancing further. And Radicosa now down to 1071 hit points. Whoopsie down to a one-shot pretty much. And one more shot and Whoopsie will be killed. Radicosa is finally killed. And we are now seeing Stochastic and also Yasuotastic getting shots as well. Oh, now BPS are biting back. We're seeing 4 tanks looking to shut down Stochastic. Stochastic is going to be killed by Object 3. And Yasuotastic is going to be isolated by BPS tanks as well. So that means LOCA will lose 2 tanks in quick succession. However, LOCA got B, so the cap points will be in favor of LOCA soon. And they will be looking to get D as well. So BPS has to hurry up and getting the kills out, dishing the kills. But they don't have a strong hit point pool advantage because Whoopsie is very low. So potentially it's a 5 versus 5 situation. And they're ignoring A totally at this point. Romka in the Vickers Light will be looking for Unitastic. Maybe Whoopsie might want to go for A. We'll see about that. Unitastic is now getting the attention. No, he's not getting the attention. Unitastic kills off App and Josh, but Playmaker and Object 3 is looking for Unitastic turning around. And it's still our hit points are with LOCA. Cap points are definitely with LOCA now. They have 3 caps. And we'll see Unitastic taking some hits. Whoopsie's going for A, but will it be a little bit too little, too late here? Romka is killed. A is going to be captured by BPS. We're seeing LOCA looking to kill off Playmaker soon. It's a bounce from Unitastic, and that leaves Playmaker a one-shot. And Whoopsie down, still one shot obviously, but A will be captured by Whoopsie, and General will be going for D, looking to kill Unitastic first, and then will be going into the D cap. Great shot to Unitastic, but Sabotastic's looking for Object 3. Object 3 needs to get the tank out of Onya, and with Whoopsie dead, killed by Unitastic, that kill right here would give LOCA the win, but Sabotastic just rammed into Object 3, just trampling onto Object 3, unable to kill off Object 3. And this is a great comeback from LOCA, making it to 2-1. LOCA 3 tanks doing more than 2k, and BPS only 2 tanks doing more than 2k. BPS defended fine. Is it not? Don't think so. I don't know what to say about this, but let's continue about this. This one, it's now 2-1 for LOCA. Oh, BPS might go for triple Vickers Light. Very interesting. That will give them even fewer hit points. Not sure if they're going to commit to that. This is going to be an audacious. Maybe not. We will find out soon. After Josh in the TVP. Oopsie might be playing the TVP next. And LOCA will be taking more. Oh no. Double mediums. Sabo in the Leopard 1. Unitastic in the Vickers Light. Unitastic FE405. Double Crown by Stochastic, and Yasuotastic. Double M60 by Unitastic and Sabotastic. BPS on the other hand will be seeing Double Crown by Object 3 and Radicoso, Double M60 by General and Playmaker Romka, T125, Double TVP by Whoopsie and F and Josh. 10 seconds left to go, and we are on to the second batch on Canal. Let's go. Alright, let's head up high, shall we? LOCA, red team north spawn, BPS blue team south spawn. let's do it now. LOCA. We are seeing Sabotastic and Utastic going for D. Double TVPs going for D as well, so I think there would be a big battle around D. I don't think anyone's able to get D, but it seems LOCA is going to get B. Romka is trying to cross the bridge, but immediately jumps down when he spots up so many tanks of LOCA, so he doesn't want to get shot terribly. So great job to Romka here. B will be captured by LOCA, so it's on to BPS to make that rotation. BPS, because they spotted up Utastic and Sabotastic, they can't recommit to that, and not sure they want to run away just yet. Unitastic is ready to push shots in, put a great shot into Whoopsie, and now Unitastic's on the drum reload. And I don't think BPS knows Unitastic's on the drum reload, so we'll find out soon what's going to happen. But a lot of action is happening around the B side. BPS getting aggressive over to LOCA, but there are 4 tanks defending there, but also 4 tanks near B. We're also seeing Whoopsie and also F and Josh holding in the position where they are. This is going to get really tense indeed. Object 3 is now down to a 1-shot, down to 378 hit points, on tracked as well. But it seems LOCA isn't able to get the isolated targets of BPS, so Sabotastic almost reloaded. B is going to be captured by BPS, with General and Playmaker looking to shut down Sticktastic. Radicoso is now down to 1-shot, killed by Radicoso. We're seeing Playmaker put a great shot into Sticktastic, killed by Romka. And it's going to be 6 versus 5 now. Whoopsie killed, so they're not killed yet. Now it's killed. The TVPs have not been able to shut down little tanks. Not been able to kill a tank there, and we are now seeing BPS 3 tanks against 5. So BPS are in deep trouble now. LOCA is looking to shut down Romka next, and LOCA is able to regroup quickly onto these tanks here. And we see Romka now down to 1-shot. Unitastic is, I think it has the spore liner here, so the HE shells will not do as much damage as it usually is. With General now being killed, Playmaker is now the last person standing. Well into LOCA, the TVPs didn't quite work out for BPS in the end, and I think pushing to B when LOCA has a lot of tanks there, and especially when BPS doesn't have so many tanks as well, there could backfire. It will backfire. But I think they realize that they have the numerical advantage over that side, and the TVPs aren't going to last for long, so they're going to try to punch a hole in that area. But if actually the TVPs dished out more damage, it would have fared better for BPS. But unfortunately, LOCA held really well near B, and they punished the TVPs unable to do something over to that side. And obviously, TVPs good when you're working together, but when you're on a drum reload, that reload time can be quite long. And it's now going to be 3-1 for LOCA, I think. Yes, it's going to be 3-1 for LOCA. So we're now seeing LOCA going with double crowd bargains by Yasuotastic and Sticktastic, potentially triple M60 by Utastic, Onyatastic, and Sabotastic, Unitastic in the mouse, and Foxy and the fake Sebo in the IS4. On the other hand, we have BPS going with Crown Bargain by Object 3 and Playmaker, General in the M60 alongside Whoopsie, double IS4 by Romka and Afrin Josh, Radicoso and that mouse. The 10 more seconds left to go, and it's going to be LOCA versus BPS on Himmelsdorf. There we go. LOCA versus BPS Himmelsdorf. Quite a flat map. So it's favoring lots of heavy tanks. We don't see lots of medium tanks here. Actually, none from both teams because it's flat and it's actually not very big. So that's why teams would prefer heavy tanks, is that there are long and narrow corridors too. So let's head up high here. We'll see LOCA red team south spawn with BPS blue team north spawn. Stektastic is looking to get into B. We'll get a cap there potentially, and it's going to be the case. Not yet. C is going to be captured by no. BPS not getting C at all. B will be captured by LOCA, and it's going to be a cap lead to LOCA, and Yassiotastic gets double tapped. And Onya also took some hits elsewhere, I think near A, I believe. A lot of actions around over A and B areas. After Josh and Roka going really aggressively, but Roka takes a lot of hits, trying to be even more aggressive and already killed by Unitastic. So LOCA already in the lead with the guns, but the hit points are still quite close. LOCA, absolutely, they need to start chipping away hit points of BPS because Unitastic is a bit low. And that shell, I think it hit after Josh. After Josh is going to be next tag down, so BPS needs to hurry up. On the other side, they need Unitastic out of this game. After Josh finally killed, so that will put it to 6 versus 5 for LOCA. And the next tag I think BPS will be going for will be Utastic, maybe Sabotastic to some extent. This is getting a little bit tight, but Radicoso is kind of left behind because he's a mouse. You want to ignore the mouse in this situation because it's quite far away from the rest of the BPS forces. We're seeing Playmaker will be killed by Sabotastic. That's the case. Playmaker is also killed. Utastic is also killed. Object 3 is now down to a 2-shot. Whoopsie also down to a 2-shot with Sabotastic killed by Object 3. And we're seeing 2 full health tanks of LOCA here. With also Object 3 dead. 3 versus 3. LOCA can still win this one, but they have to be really careful. Guns are equal. Hit points are still in favor of LOCA, but if they slip up, BPS could surprise us all. Sabotastic's looking for Whoopsie. That is going to be enough. Kills off Whoopsie, and they're going for General next, I believe. And they will leave the last mouse standing for BPS. Stektastic bounces onto General. And we're seeing Sabotastic now on a drop reload. Stektastic as well, so they have to wait for a little bit. Unitastic looking to put a great shot into General's trying to rotate, looking for Sabotastic. First shell in, and the second shell also into Sabotastic, and Stektastic still reloading, but Radicoso will be looking for Stektastic. Stektastic rams into the train carriages. Great shot into General, but he's under a really long reload, but General is a one-shot, so let's see about this one. BPS, are they able to make a comeback? He's getting unlikely because they still have around 2,000 hit points to get back. And LOCA simply will be able to get this one out unless there is an amble rack happening suddenly. Unitastic is going to put a great shell into Radicoso. Stektastic bounces onto Radicoso. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, it's not the end of the world yet. One bounce would not do much. Stektastic is kind of pinned into this train carriage's great ram kill from Radicoso here. That will leave Unitastic the last person standing. Oh dear, actually, is BPS able to make a comeback here? Unitastic is reloading for a really long time. He cannot afford to miss that shell or bounce that shell into Radicoso. He kills off Radicoso. That leaves now General the last person standing. And I think that will seal the deal for LOCA. That will bring it to 4-1 and tiebreaker to LOCA now. Unitastic still spotted, General still spotted. They're still toying around. 3 minutes left to go. Cap points are with LOCA, so Unitastic absolutely do not have to hurry with this 1 versus 1 affair. General is the one that needs to play cleverly. But because they're so close to one another, I'm not sure if General is able to get a camel reset. And General, we have to see what General is going to do. Interesting, but Unitastic's definitely the mouse. A lot of hit points left. General, I don't know. this is still really close. This is going to be close. General trying to pull back to get underspotted, but unable to do so because Unitas is going forward, getting really close to the silo here. Or the water tank. Oh, General tries to go in, but gets killed by Unitastic. I know it's kind of unlikely for BPS to make a comeback here, but BPS have done what all they could to bring it really close. Unitastic doing more than 6,000 damage, 4 kills. But I think BPS getting so aggressive near B, we do see that before on the EU server a lot of years ago. But LOCA just did really well, you know, figuring out the positioning, how to get the crossfire, and BPS, that idea I think was there to spot tanks trying to go into B. That didn't quite work out in the end, so I think maybe BPS might want to do something different in the next match, or on the next match on Himmelstoff. Okay, now we are seeing BPS double crown bargains by Object Tree and Playmaker, Radicoso in the mouse, General VK, and Avid Josh, E100 double T110 by Foxy and Whoopsie. LOCA on the other hand, double crown by Yasuo-tastic and Stick-tastic, potentially triple M60 by Sabu-tastic, Onyo-tastic and Unitastic in the mouse, and Foxy in the IS4 potentially. Okay, and Onyo-tastic is going to change into the IS4 instead. And around 15 seconds left to go. LOCA on the match point will they be able to win against BPS? Because if they win against BPS 5-4, that's a very dominant win, and that also means LOCA once again are looking hot favorites for taking the crown. And supposedly BPS is the one that is getting close to the top teams, and that's a huge result for LOCA. But absolutely, BPS on the good day could do really well. So we're now going to be seeing LOCA versus BPS, with LOCA red team on the north side, BPS blue team on the south side. Okay, so LOCA will commit their tanks to C and to C, maybe to A as well, and BPS will be capturing B, and Foxy will be spotted all getting really aggressive once again, doing the same strategy like last time, going into this crater here. This time not taking too many hits, and Sabotastic will be getting C, and B will be captured by BPS first, and Capuns are with LOCA. And we are going to be seeing LOCA looking. I don't think they're going for an A, but BPS are going super duper aggressive. Will it work though? We'll see how LOCA is going to respond to BPS aggression. It seems BPS wants to finish the game off very quickly, and General is just going straight in looking for Sabotastic. I think the focus on Sabotastic, but LOCA seems to be in control more than BPS. I don't know, everything is very chaotic at the moment here. Radicoso is under the attention of Unitastic, and double tanks of LOCA looking for Foxy. Foxy's track dropping the reactive armor hit points still with LOCA at the moment here, but there are so many skirmishes happening around this map. Well, let's head over to B. Object 3 is now down to a 2-shot with Sabotastic now dead. Foxy's also dead, down by a fire. And Onyo-tastic, great shot onto Whoopsie, and Utastic also good shot into Whoopsie. And it's now 6 versus 6. This is still pretty close to call, but LOCA has the hit point advantage. Object 3 is now dead. And Utastic looking to put a great shot into Whoopsie and Onyo-tastic as well. And that leaves Whoopsie the last, very low in hit points. Whoopsie is now killed, and it's now going to be 5 versus 4. This is looking pretty good for LOCA at the moment. Playmaker down to a 2-shot, and Radicoso, down to 2 shots as well. Yasuo trying to run away and Sabotage to land all of his shells onto Playmaker and kill that tank off. So that means LOCA can focus on other tanks instead. Sticktastic killing off Playmaker, and he's going to get back to safety, reload his shell, and it's going to be 5 versus 3. General taking another hit by Sticktastic. Great shot there. On the Tastic, great shot into General as well. And on the Tastic, bounces onto General. Yasuo Tastic's now killed, General is killed, and we are now seeing LOCA swarming into Radicoso. Sticktastic almost fully reloaded. Great shot into Radicoso, I think another shot into Radicoso. It's going to be the case. And finally, it's going to be 4 versus 1. FB Josh, the E100, might be able to land a big shell into Tastic. That's just a big shell here, but I think it's a little bit of a low roll because I think FB Josh used the premium shell there, but it doesn't matter at this point. Tastic kills off Epic Josh, handing LOCA a victory 5-1, and they are going to finish first in their group, and we will see which team they're going to be facing next. Well done to LOCA, 5 tanks doing more than 2k, BPS, 3 tanks doing more than 2k. They kind of fell apart, I think, in this match. They started really aggressively, but couldn't quite follow up. LOCA was able to respawn almost immediately, and they were not quite isolated, they were quite together. So I think there is a lot of things to learn from LOCA in this match. Like LOCA is always quite well connected with one another, and it's it was very difficult for the other team to break them down, even though the other team pushes aggressively. I think BPS kind of overestimated that aggressive strat on Himmelstall. Certainly didn't quite work out to what they expect. Especially where LOCA put tanks near A. The crossfire from A over to the middle area definitely hurts a lot of tanks there. So BPS might want to do something to take notice of the tanks near A, because they will create a lot of great crossfire. And I think if they can shut down the tanks or distract their attention to divert their attention to their lanes instead of the middle area, maybe BPS can get away with going really aggressive in the middle side. So well done to LOCA. They will finish tonight with 5-1 victory. Okay, let's see about the result of Endgame versus Jones. Are they still playing? They are still playing. Meanwhile, we have Middle Echelon. TTT versus Turks. They are still playing against Turks, so they might have won. They probably have won one single match at least. RNG versus Sparta. They are still playing as of saying. Okay, so only one result has come through, and that is our match. LOCA 5-1 against BPS, so congratulations to LOCA. And we will come back soon on all the matches, so I'll play some games on the EU account. First of all, we'll get the birthday tanks out of the way. And we'll begin with T1 10. I'll go to this bush to kind of do some sniping. Heavies, hopefully they can do something in the middle and the right side. bit worried about my side now. Some tanks spotted on the west side. We have no spots on the central area. Interesting. Okay, we are seeing IS-4 probably going up. Only one tank probably won't be able to do a lot of damage. Oh, that was bad. Oh, Yagaru, how did that tank receive a lot of damage? Oh, Grey Shell, onto IS-4, wherever it is. Oh, Death Star, good job there. Maybe I can shoot onto IS-4 now. I'm spotted, but I have a lot of armor. It's hard. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to splash. Oh, that was a lot of HE damage there. Splash it is, I think. Oh, and yeah, Guru. Do I have shots on that tank? No, he's they are in cover. Oh, we lost Storm already. Let's see if I can do something about the IS-4. Another splash. Or can I wiggle some shots? Yes, I got a bounce. I'm just going to get aggressive now. Oh. And not a bounce, which is not good. I can do this. Yeah, I have to get the IS-4 out of the way. Oh, got it this time. Reloading. Hey, there's a bounce here. Tries to penetrate my turret. My cupola doesn't seem to work, I think. There we go. And it's 5 versus 4. It looks fine. For now, maybe I can get shots into those TDs from where I am. Or maybe not. I'm just gonna push through anyway. Okay, good. Okay, I'll continue to. Ooh, great kill onto the ARWV here. Ooh, nice one. And that's a kill. Death Star is the last person standing. The team did well. The team did well. Great job to the team. Death Star did a good job as well. Landing some really great shots, so they didn't do a lot, actually. Yeah, not less than 2,000 damage. Death Star almost 3,000. Crown Volume more than 4,000. That's a great match for the team, and I think I can get some rewards using it. Yes, I'm getting rewards. Let's check the results of other games, of other groups. Summer Season Championship. We are seeing Endgame versus Jones. It's still going on, so it's going to last for some time. Middle Echelon Championship. We are seeing TDT against Turks. They're still playing, and RNG versus Sparta. it's still going on. Okay, so at the moment here, I will probably play one match, and I'll announce the winners of the damage guessing game. After that, I mean, announcing the winners and also playing another match, getting that birthday on STB1, I will probably end my stream, and I will redirect you all to Fujit's stream. He is going to co-commentate with Eminet. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have the winners now. I'm going to announce it straight away. Just let me type it up, and then I will get it. Devil Touch got it twice, so I have to assign it different to a different winner. Okay, so the winners are Liza, The Deal for Real, Af, Devil Touch, Collateral Damage, Mesmer, Matthias, Devil, and Rifty. Devil, I think I got your name wrong. Should be Devil Touch. Ooh. Yeah, because you guessed both of them correctly twice, so you see 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, forgot. Again, we'll do once again. Abdukada getting the final one. So whether to all of you, and you'll be getting a free August battle pass. Do tune into tomorrow's stream as well for if you want to get more August battle passes. So what I would do next, play one more match, and then I will go. If I win this one, obviously. There we go. think you should relocate here. Got it. Oh, but STB also got me as well. Oh, are we seeing a rotation from behind? Let's go. Actually, nice. And Backchat's going to be next, probably. Great call from our team. Just have to make sure I can get the shots in. Hello, how are you doing? Oh dear. Oh dear, Death Star. You got me there. And middle 2. Tracked. Oh, that doesn't look good for me at the moment. I'm a one-shot now. If I die, that is not going to be good for the team. I have to be really careful now. E100. Got you. Oh no, ammo rack. Oh dear, and there's a Sheridan getting ammo racked. I think it's the first time I saw that. Poor fella. Yeah, it's still hard. Oh, good kill into the Fury, and still tough. And I'm playing with kind of low FPS at the moment. Oh, come on. Here we go. Oh, no. Almost got killed. Ah. Going to relocate now. Can close it because the team is closing in. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Don't tell me I'm going to crash. Oh my gosh. It went like 0 FPS. I can't even aim well there. Like you can see it's just fluttering a lot. VK is able to kill the Crown Bargain, which makes my death a bit negligible. No, I don't know why my nose is very itchy. For some reason it happens from time to time. I'm not like pecking, it's just itching a lot, so I just don't know what happened. There we go. We're going to be seeing endgame versus Jones. Do we have results now? Endgame winning Jones 5-4. Congratulations to Endgame. And Jones played really hard for this one, and they look like to be a decent competitor in the top 4. So I can't wait to see Endgame, Jones, LOCA, and VPS fighting one another. We're going to be seeing some exciting moments. And next we have Middle Echelon Championship. Tux winning against TTT. 5-3. So well done to Turks. And DDT did really well to win 3 matches there. And Sparta won against RNG 5-3. So congratulations to Sparta. And that concludes tonight. I would say thank you very much for watching this stream and following my coverage for the games. But I would say now it's quite late now, and I will get a good rest for tomorrow. But he's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you very much, and goodbye.